I'm just sitting here minding my business, right? Now you stay to the end because this is gonna be real interesting. I just want to show you how intuition works, right? So I was just sitting here and I was listening to a friend in her life, right? That I hadn't been in her life in a long time. So she said something that was very interesting and it led me to want to look up something. So I'm not gonna get into that because that'll take me somewhere else. I was looking for Luke 17. Okay, so somehow when I clicked to go read the scripture for it, it took me to Genesis 17. So not paying attention to the fact that I wasn't on Luke 17, I just started reading 17, right? Just going down. So I'm reading and I'm realizing as I'm getting to about chapter 8, it's not making sense. This don't got nothing to do with what I'm looking for, right? So then I scroll back up and I read, but then something clicked and said, go back and read that again. And it was something very interesting that I want to show y'all. Now, first of all, I want y'all to remember I stumbled up on this by accident. This is coming from Genesis chapter 17, verse 5. Okay, as you can see here, it says, neither shall thy name anymore be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. Okay, so in this context, it was God talking to Abram and telling him he changing his name because he basically, I'm your God. You know what I mean? You have done the things that made you worthy of me honoring you to let you have my name. I'm gonna show you how my mind works. I went back to that text, even though it was a whole accident I was there in the first place. Something made me go back. Something in my head just was like, go back and read that again. So I went back and I read over again, starting from the beginning. When I got to that chapter, I was like, why did he change his name? Why do they always change their name? Then I remembered how gods would add their initials to, or people would add their initials, or the gods would deem them with their initials of the god on the back of their name. So I was like, spirit in my mind was like, okay, so what God was AM? And guess who it was? Amunra. So Amun is why Abram changed his name to Abraham. That's also the reason why people sing, Father Abraham has many sons, and many sons has Father Abraham. That's talking about him because he was deemed as the Abraham who was going to be the father of many nations. Now that's crazy. I said all that to say, study to show yourself to be approved. Like it says in the word, you can use the word, but you have to use it with discernment because you have to realize the things that book have been through, how many times it has been changed to fit a narrative of a certain people that colonized different nations, and different nations took that book, made it into what they wanted to make it in. That's why we have so many different interpretations. But if you look at the culture, which that book, along with Christianity, killed culture, called it cult. And now that's what we have as cults now. But that was just culture, how people practiced back in the day before Christianity colonized and turned culture into cult. Let that sink in. Now that's crazy.